Welcome back, one and all, to Gizzy's Reads, where the rhythm is real and poetry is personal. Host Gizzy, sharing my journey one verse at a time. Each episode, I'll read an original poem or poems straight from the heart, some raw, some reflective, all me. Whether you're here to feel, heal, or just vibe, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Now, today's episode 4, the quiet moments. Those moments where you're just thinking, where everything's right there in your head, on your mind at all times. You know, you're not sure what's up or down. That is what we're going to be talking about today. Those are going to be the poems we have for you today. We'll get right into it with the first one. It is titled Thoughts of a Poet. The one thing I realize, the one thing I see, is whenever I write poems, they're all related to me. I don't just write a poem. I never not have a reason. My poems come and go. My feelings are the seasons. Everything I go through, everything that hurts, I try to make it better. Writing is the only thing that works. The girls in my life, the friends that are gone, the family I have, wondering where I belong. I've been through so much, yet I still seem fine. I'd rather hear your problems than talk about mine. I've had my share of trouble. I've had my share of heartbreak. I've given my share of pain. I guess it's my turn to take. Take back my life. Take back my heart. Take back the things I've lost. The things I've given from the start. Answer me this, all of you listening. Can you tell by my poems that I'm internally bleeding? The life is going out of me. My breath is running thin. It's a figure of speech. My life isn't coming to an end. Through thick and thin, sunny or snow, I have those friends who will never let go. You know what? I actually do. I remember when I wrote this one, um, I was I was struggling, like everything else, struggling to find my way. Like all the other poems I've read, I've written back then. 2010 was this one. I just graduated. Uh, 2 years prior, I was figuring myself out, and I remember there was this girl I liked, and I couldn't go after her because of my parents, but they wouldn't let me date at that age. Um, and she wasn't having it. She was like, "Nah, fam, you're good." And that's about it. So let it go. And this is the poem I wrote. Um, Also, I was at the end of a breakup, a secret breakup. Um, yeah, yeah, I remember this one. This is a good one. I'll put this link in the description below for you as well. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one is called Hip Hop Reborn. The death of a legend, the death of a friend. We can't forget hip hop now that it's alive again. Alive through our words, alive in our hearts. The true meaning of hip hop, inside you it starts. We have our own styles, but all have the same beat. We can drop a rhyme anywhere, in the house or on the street. Twisting vocabulary to fit our own style. We can spit a quick rhyme, or it might take us a while. In the words of Snoop Dogg when he wrote Gin and Juice, I got my mind and my money, riding the deuce. We gotta go back in time with Biggie and Snoop, and rhyme with Tupac, who spoke the truth. Hip hop is alive, it lives in you. What makes it sound good is if it's true. That one was actually a poem. Shout out to ooh, Poetic Butterfly. You know who you are. Yo, 16 years ago, fam. We still chilling. That's dope. I didn't win the contest. I got an honorable mention, by the way. Yeah, this one was. I actually enjoyed this one because I got to throw my own twist on it. You know, 'cause it was about hip hop, so you know, I had to put some flair into it. I loved it. I loved it. I did my research on Snoop and Biggie and Tupac, all the rappers back then. I went in on this one, and then I enjoyed it very, very much. The next one we have, it is called Senseless. This one I have actually not read since I wrote it. That's crazy. I wrote this one back in 2008. If life was so important, why is mine such a mess? If life is so important, why do many confess? If we were made to be couples, why am I still single? If we were made to coexist, why do we get divorced? If we are the reason the earth is made, why do we pollute it? If you read this poem, why don't you comment? If we write poetry, why aren't we here? If I look death in the eye, then I have no fear. Fear of asking questions, fear of being honest, fear of giving up, fear of being modest, fear of saying no, fear of being me, fear of man, and what I don't see. Try to see the meaning of this before you make a reply. If you truly understand, your comment won't lie. They're good questions. And those are the things that my mind thinks about late at night when I'm in, trying to go to sleep and my brain won't shut off. These are some of the questions that I get. These are some of the things that my mind thinks about. Because it's true. If life is so important, why? Why does it always get messed up, you know? If we're here to fill the earth and subdue it, as the Bible says, then why do we pollute it? You know, why do we take advantage of what is here in the worst of ways? These are the questions we wonder. And I know everybody wonders about, oh, if people see my videos, if people see the things I write, why don't they comment? Can't tell you. I mean, it's fear though. It really is. They might not know it, but that's what it is. It's fear. Fear of being seen, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being judged. That's exactly what it is. Fear. Fear is what stops so many people from doing things that would better their lives. And it's sad. It really is. But we'll move on to the next one. This one I actually really like. Um, it's a little deep, so bear with me. It's called Forgetting. My nights get colder, and my head fills with thoughts. I don't know how they got there, but I want to forget them. Trying not to think about her voice saying, I love you. I know you do, but I want to forget. I tell myself it's for the best. Little do I know it's harder to forget than it is to remember. Forget about the eyes, forget about the talks, forget about the love, forget about it all. The only way to forget and never be depressed is to forget about you. And I don't want that. To forget about myself would be easier to do because you are not me, which is not easy to forget. No more pictures, no more poems, no more anything that reminds me of you. I'm not changing my feelings, just the way I think, because if I am to forget you, I have to give up all these things. Forgetting the one thing that I know I'm sure of, forgetting the love, forgetting the pain, forgetting the laughs, forgetting the memories of you and I, the way we were, the way we could be, the way we want to be. Forgetting is hard, but it must be done. Forgetting is what's best. So I guess I'll forget. 2008. boy, oh boy. Um, that was when I got my heart broke for the first time. Just graduated. Girlfriend cheated on me and left me, and most of my friends knew about it before I did, which kind of sucks. Which is also why my friendship got super small after that. But this one is one of my favorites because of the flow. And this was one of the poems that made me realize my particular style that I enjoy. And this is the style of writing that I enjoy so much. And you can tell that it actually meant something because of how I wrote it, because of the words and how deep it is. There's true feelings in there at the time. That's crazy. Just, I can still picture the day I wrote this. I started writing it on my break. I was working at Albertsons when I started writing it on my break. And I went home. I got up at like 10 o'clock or something like that. And I went home. And on my way home, I stopped by the park and I finished it. That's crazy. I remember that's insane that I remember that. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one's called Live It. Live. It's not livid. Live it. Again, the link will be in the description below, so feel free to check the spelling or terms or pronunciation or title in the description below. From time to time, I think, and I listen to how I feel. I listen to the voices, I listen to the words of the voices in my head. They tell me I'm crazy, or I need a better outlet. You need to do this, or you need to do that. They drown out my own thoughts, the only ones that matter. They shut me down from head to toe. But little do they know, I can't be silenced. I can't be beaten. I won't let them hold me back from what fate has set for me. Fate is what you choose. You choose your own future. You can't say it's not my choice when you know it is. So tell me, how can you listen to your thoughts when voices are in your head? You throw them out, kick them to the curb, and live your life like it's a proverb. This one was, you know what? I don't remember this, but this one was for a contest also. Um, no prompt, no rhyme, just good writing that should leave her speechless. There's a lot of good entries on this one. I remember this because I was like, I'm not going in, but it was definitely a good time. I love entering contests with poetry, even if I don't win. I like the challenge. I like the. There's an adrenaline rush for me entering contests, writing contests, and things like that. I love it. It's great. It's the best thing in the world because no one expects. No one ever expects me to be. Oh, you're a writer? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I am. 6'7" black guy. Grew up most of his time on the south side. Half his time on the south side. Say most half his time on the south side. It's it's not usual in some places. Next one we got, again, this is another dark one, but we got to go with the theme today, which is the quiet moments, which means the thoughts in your head is around. When when everything is quiet, what's going on? This one I wrote 2009. That's my last race. What have I done to deserve what I have? Have I not been a very good friend? What have I done for a punishment like this? I don't know how it began. You said that you would be there, but yet you're nowhere to be found. I'm screaming your name, and you don't come around. Stress is rising, emotions are high, my eyes fill with tears. I'm driving at high speeds, and I can't switch the gears. All I need is a touch or a whisper to slow me down. I'm the only loser out here that is wearing a stupid frown. Time is up, the clock is struck. It's time for me to go. I live my life, continue my path, and give space time to grow. The gap can either widen or it can disappear forever. Either way, I'll live on, and it will be for the better. Forget my number, forget my name, forget you ever knew me. This won't be a happy ending, like some stupid movie. I've come to a bridge at 3-digit speeds. My driving is getting poor. I think I'll save everyone, and off the side I'll soar. Crashing to the river, leaving no trace of life. I'm not blaming you. This was just better than a knife. I left you a letter, folded on my bed. Wait, it's in my pocket. And the above is what it said. This one, super dark. Um, I had a friend in after high school. Um, she was very, very depressed and very, very, we'll say, suicidal. Multiple times she's tried to kill herself. She used to cut herself all the time, carve words, demeaning words into her arms and legs. Um, and I was always there for her, always there. And when I got to one of my lowest points, I turned to her and she wasn't there for me. So this is how I vented. I wrote this, um, and yeah, she read it, she understood, and she got the picture. Um, we are still not friends to this day. That is due to other reasons, but she did understand after I wrote this and change her tone. That's crazy. I love reading this old stuff. And next one we got, it is called Disease. 2007. I wrote this one on my way to Oklahoma on a family trip. I live in Florida, by the way, so Florida, Oklahoma, that's a pretty good amount of time to be writing. It's called Disease. Eating away at my soul are the feelings I have inside. Those feelings I have weaken me and take away my pride. I stumble over my word and my eyes fill up with tears. I can only say I'm happy. I've known you through the years. You ask me how I feel, I tell you I feel alright. Little do you know, I'm dying every night. Eating away at my soul, this disease won't go away. All I can say is I don't want it to stay. I try to make it go away by taking different drugs. The relaxation I get is the only relaxation I get is when you give me hugs. This poem I write just makes it worse because you are in my head. I can only say it won't go away until the day I'm dead. I'm not saying I'll kill myself if this disease will always be. I just ask that you notice it and come to rescue me. You notice anything similar about this one and the last one? Yeah, it's about the same friend. This is when it all started. um, Not being noticed, not being, you know, taken seriously, I guess. So yeah, this is the start of that. The start of the end of the friendship. And this one I actually entered into two contests, but it was already written when I did it, so it doesn't really matter. We got the last one. This one is called Silent Prayer. I look to you to give me direction. I come to you if I need protection. You give me counsel when I need it the most. You help me show humility when I need it to boast. You answer my prayers in your own due time. You showed me how to preach and let your light shine. You gave me discipline when I did something wrong. You showed me things in front of me that were there all along. You gave me family, companions, and best friends. When I repent, you forgive me for my sins. You made me cry. You made me laugh and dried my eyes when I cry. You've shown me her face, and my question is why. This was about my girlfriend, the one who cheated on me and left me and all that. I wanted this to be the last one just because of the title. No special reason, anything like that. Silent prayer, because that's what the quiet really, really brought out. Other than my writing, for me at that time, because clearly it's a prayer. I was very religious at that time. Had just gotten baptized 2 years before that. I have since stepped away from my religion, but that's neither here nor there. This particular title is actually not title, but this particular episode is, I won't say a difficult one, but it brings back a lot of those rough memories. But sometimes it's needed. You need to know what you went through. You need to see what you went through to know why you are where you are. If that makes sense to you guys. And it's one of the reasons I decided to do this podcast, is because I wanted not just myself to remember where I came from, or what I went through, but just those people who are out there who are going through some things. Just, this is an outlet. If you don't want to talk to anyone, just write it down. It doesn't have to be in any kind of rhythm or rhyme. Just write it down. My wife got me a journal. I don't write in it a lot. I've written maybe 2 or 3 things, but she knows. She knows that I will use it at some point. I love writing. It's I've said this in every episode, I think, that it helps. It calms me down. It brings me back to earth when I'm struggling. And I hope out there I'm helping somebody. Anybody who reads this, I'm hoping that it just brightens your day. Nothing too serious. I just want to help somebody. Let somebody see that it's okay to struggle. Like, it's not easy out here. It never has been, never will be. Rough. And just know that you are not alone at all, whatsoever. Reach out. Shit. I'm here. I got you. I'll listen. If you just need somebody to listen, bam, I got you. I won't say a word. I'll give you the occasional I understand, but you gotta get it out. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening to Get These Readings. If any of today's poems spoke to you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with somebody who really, truly needs it. Or even if you think they need it, share it with them. You can connect with me on all of my social media. You got Instagram, everything is Get Heels, Instagram, Facebook, All Poetry here, Twitch, Gizzy Heels 89. Everything's Gizzy Heels 89. TikTok, Gizzy Heels 89. Doesn't matter. I got you. I reply always. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful. Always, always speak your truth. Peace out.